are taking the 3D printed truck and we're going to put them on this chassis, some monster truck wheels. So I've already got some of this stuff tore apart, so let me kind of show you what I got going on here. These are the big tires, and these are the original axles or whatever for the SCX 24 with the worm gears and everything already in them. I'm going to try to leave this alone. This whole setup came off of the 3D printed truck. Let me get the body for those of you that don't. Here's what it came off of. Those of you that watch the channel know that this is one of my favorite little micro crawlers. I 3D printed this, and it's been through, kind of little different things here and there. I really like the chassis here, but I figured it was time for an upgrade. So I got an all metal one here, and I wanted to go with a little more power than the 88 turn. So I'm still going to try to use the original transmission. I'm probably going to have to do something with the gears at some point, but I'm trying to keep it down on a little bit of a budget here. I don't want to break the bank with the build, so originally I was going to use this crusher motor, but I think I'm going to save that for another build, because if you take the crusher motor and you line it up on the SCX 24, the mounting just doesn't line up. No matter how you fit it, the motor's just too big. So you need either another plate, which I could probably find one. But the problem is the plate's probably going to cost 20 bucks or so. Long story short, I already have a PN Racing setup already here. I was going to use this a while back. I don't even remember for what build, honestly. But it does have a nice plate, metal plate, aluminum, whatever, to replace the original one here. So you'd swap these out, and then this is, I believe, a 130 motor. Looks a little bit beefy for a 130 motor, and for what I'm doing here, I kind of want a little more torque, but I also want a little more speed too, because I gotta have the low end grunt, but I also gotta have a little bit of speed to match it with the build that I'm trying to make here. I'm trying to make a monster truck, kind of like the Max Smasher, but the whole point is not to spend a lot of money on it, because it's kind of pointless at that point. You could just buy a Max Smasher. We're going to see if maybe we can build off of this and make something halfway decent here. And this will be kind of cool. This is a nice metal chassis. I got it off Amazon for like, I don't know, I believe it was like 20 bucks or something. And I've always liked the chassis. I love all the little holes and stuff that are on there. It gives you tons of mounting locations for different things. And I'm constantly changing everything up, so that would work for me, instead of having to drill and tap and do all the stuff that I've done on this one here, moving everything around, and so that would really help me. The thing that I'm also trying to do is I'm trying to keep this ESC. I know this ESC isn't much, but I really enjoy it. It's the AX6 or whatever it is by All-Star or whatever, and it's really a good setup for brushed. Try not to go like the Iguana setup or whatever. I do have an Iguana to put in here, but there again, if I go doing that, then I'm getting up there on the price. We may eventually have to do that to finish the build, but I want to start here to see where it's going to land. And maybe we can build a little bit of a blueprint for somebody that might want to do that themselves and see where this lands. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to start on this and just see how far it gets, what kind of problems we have, what we need, and we'll just do a little series on it here and see how far we can get with it. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to take the camera and just kind of move it around, show you what I've done so far. and then get a couple things mounted up, see what the next step is. So ignore my workstation here. I've got kind of a mess. Here's everything I got laid out here. I got the PN Racing stuff here, and this is the setup I'm going to be putting it on. I've already got a plate and everything for it. I'm going to try to stick with the Emax servo. I really like those, and these monster truck tires are pretty cool. So the axles and stuff are stock. I'd like to stay with those, but I also did think about some overgear or overdrive gears or whatever. I know that'll give me a little more speed, but I'm going to try to do it this way for now. So the next step is let's get this transmission all fitted up and see what we can do with that part. Alright, so as you can see, we got our screws out of there. So now we'll just take this plate off and we'll swap it with this one right here. As you can see, you just use the stock screws on that. I got a couple more to put on there, and then we'll have this part done. Alright, so that's where we're going to stop at today. We got our little instructions here on how to install the PN motor and the plate. And that's kind of hard to see on that screen there. There we go, it's a little bit better. So basically, you put this little adapter right here on the motor itself, and then it attaches to the back part of the plate, and then you have something that looks similar to this. Now this right here, I'm waiting for, I had to order the spur gear and pinion because I don't have any pinions this size. I wasn't going to try to match it up with something else. It's just going to cause more problems. So I just ordered the correct ones and waiting for it to come in. Now shipping on this stuff is coming from Keenan Hobby, so it's going to cost you a pretty penny. So I suggest getting everything at one time that you need. If you order the motor and everything at the same time, you'll just pay one shipping cost and you won't have to do it twice like I did. But this thing to zoom in here a little bit better. As you can see, I mean, it's a pretty solid setup, I think. I like the way that the mounts up to the outside portion of that. It's got a nice thick edge. I think it's going to do just fine. So, like I said, we're going to wrap it up there with this episode. When we come back on the next one there, we'll try to have the parts to finish this up, and we'll start putting everything together and seeing where it all fits, what else that we need. So once again, I appreciate it, guys, and look for more coming from this. This is kind of like, I guess we're going to call this something like a smasher budget build for the SCX 24. I'm wanting to do one of these for a while anyway, so it's kind of cool to get my hands dirty a little bit here. Got a little bit of time going on, so maybe I'll be able to finish this up here relatively soon. Appreciate it, guys, and if anybody needs the part numbers for any of these, this is the motor mount, and this is the actual motor. It comes with a set of instructions that's fairly detailed. This guy here, it's not the hot racing version. I looked on Amazon and they must have changed the name or a different seller or something now. I don't see it on there, but it's basically the hot racing version. It's just not that brand. I think you can find these pretty much anywhere. It's just an SCX 24. I think they call it like a Ripper chassis or something. That's it for this first episode here, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. You have any suggestions, comments, whatever, just post them below. I always like to hear from you guys. So I got some ideas on things I want to do, so we'll go over that in the next video. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.